Dr. Imran, kindly deliver your lecture, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Amna, and thank you, Dr. Tansir, for organizing such a academic activity in a beautiful city of Pakistan, Abbottabad. I ask welcome to our international fellows and participants in this academic activity. Today, GLR arranged such a meeting. So this is the time, because now we cannot ask minimal invasive surgery is future. Minimal invasive surgery is present. So this is the time. Again, we are little late, but this is the time. So to know better, learn better, also training. So the main purpose of this GLR, or Global Laparoscopy and Robotics, is the training. So highly welcome to all fellows, and really I am excited to be there. But unfortunately, physically I am not there, but spiritually definite I am between all of you. Again, my humble request from all of my participants, please mute your mics, because on Zoom, if your mic will be open, then there will be little disturbance. Dr. Tansir, can you see my slides?
Yes. Yes, I can see it.
Okay, now we will go ahead. So this is global laparoscopy. First of all, I will try my best to introduce global laparoscopy, or GLR. So maybe most of you, so you don't know about GLR. GLR, so this is global laparoscopy and robotics. GLR is a private limited company. We are a group of doctors all over the world. Our aim to help our youngsters who need training in minimal invasive surgery. We will also provide services to establish training center in your own country and city. So yes, this always we need a teamwork, and Professor Amir Khan, he is educational director and lead us regarding our academic activities, and Dr. Tansir is a crucial role about managing director. And you all know better than me, without such a team, you cannot achieve good targets. Again, we have subgroups like GLR academics, clinics, innovations, medical tourism. So in general bodies, we have board of directors, faculty members, advisory committee, organizing committee, and fellowship selection committee. You can see the galaxy of our faculty members, from Robert Rutledge till Bruno Delevan. So you can see these stars. So definitely from US, UK, from Japan, Portugal, Spain, well-known person, they are part of our team, and we are trying our best to share our knowledge, share the knowledge of such experts for our youngsters. Yes, as I have mentioned, from our faculty members, USA, UK, Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Taiwan, Japan, China, Russia, Portugal, India, Pakistan, Iran, Belgium, Austria, Iraq, Lebanon, Jordan, and UAE. Board of directors, you can see again, we are from China, we are from Turkey, Aaron Tashkin Alexander, who is now president of obesity surgery and ex-president of Young IFSO, Professor Amjad Parvez Ibrahim from South Africa, and many you can see here. So we are board of directors, and also for GLR International, they decide. So they show, so what is the roadmap and how can we go ahead? We have a selection because we also started fellowship programs, mini, intermediate, and full fellowship program. But we have selection committees, and I will discuss in detail. Innovation Professor Wayang from China, he is a well-known bariatric surgeon. He owns two private companies, and he is our director of GLR Innovations, and also we are trying our best to facilitate our members. Yes, this is our main. So now we have started this. thank God. Now there is, because during COVID-19, we had not such a opportunity to go there. Now Dr. Tansir is there. And thanks Dr. Tansir and Dr. Nadir for organizing such an academic activity. So now this is our aim, this is our dream, to go home to home, hospital to hospital, because safe minimal invasive surgery is very important. If you are going to do only lap poly, okay, safe lap poly, safe TAP, till when you will go for advanced bariatric, like bariatric surgery and other surgeries, safety is very important. GLR academics, yes, we arranged routinely master classes, and a good news for those who are interested for gynae, tomorrow we will have live master class with Professor Abdul Qayyum from Bangladesh. He's a well-known gynecologist at the globe, not only in South Asia, and he will be live. Also, he will demonstrate live surgeries. Please don't miss that session. Yes, in COVID era, and now just nowadays also, I can ask ACHBC, that was after COVID and before COVID.
Where is the place? Where is the place?
Now we can also using these such and facilities. Yes, this is our dream. So hand-on laparoscopic surgery for our participants. If you remember, so many of you that you know, said sometimes we take some mentor for our training. So some person so at home, but now we are going to start mentor at site for training program for surgery. Definitely we will provide such a mentor. When mentor will go there, like just imagine, mentor will be in Tashkent, mentor will be in Tanzania, mentor will be in Nairobi. In February, we have organized a masterclass in Tunisia. Definitely, it will be very effective, because when someone will come Dubai, there are some limitations, and also maybe that person cannot be able to hands-on surgery, but in his own country, yes, because he's registered surgeon in his own country, and there is no issue. Fellowship program, yes, we have started mini, full, and in minimal invasive surgery, bariatric, colorectal, gynae, and urology. Already we are facilitating. We have offered mini, and this is 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Already we have started in these fields. 45 candidates applied, and then interview session, 2 or 3 session. Professor Amir Khan interview all of these candidates, and then shortlisted 20, and then also mentor from, because we have MOU with Napoli University, Italy, Taiwan, Tehran, Lebanon, and Madrid University. And also these candidates also has been interviewed by someone who are also mentor in those universities, and then we have selected. So my humble request, please, Dr. Can you hear me, Dr. Tansir?
Yes, please, I can hear you, sir.
Just my humble request to participants to be silent.
Okay, okay.
Mute. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, Professor Antonio Torres is from Madrid, and he's a well-known bariatric surgeon and laparoscopic surgeon. And he also, we are affiliated. He's also affiliated with GLR and faculty member, and facilitated also our fellows in Madrid. Napoli, Professor Mario Mozuela, he's a well-known person. Also, CK Huang from Taiwan. And also you can see Talipur, he's a well-known bariatric surgeon at the globe and innovator of gastric plication from Tehran Medical University, with more than 10,000 bariatric surgeries. Lead us. Just my humble request from our viewers, please mute your mic. Professor Hassam, Professor Abdul Qayyum from, he's a gynecologist from Bangladesh, and also facilitate our program. Dr. Tansir has already started minimal invasive surgery fellowship program in Kulsum International. And my humble request to all of you viewers, please join Dr. Tansir and stay in touch with him and also avail such a golden opportunity. Also myself and Dr. Amir Khan, we also as a part of team, as a faculty member, always will be available with Professor Tansir Asghar. We have also GLR TV, and we have started some other this interview programs, and we have finished interview series that MGB, OAGB, and now a series of sleep gastrectomy is going on that will be finished in December. Also, we have GLR clinics, and we are going to start first. Our GLR clinic has been started in Nairobi, and then we will go ahead. What is the so concept in GLR clinics internationally? So nowadays, medical tourism, patient consult to your city or to your country, but now we will go there. So these telemedicines, yes, we will. Because routinely we follow our patients in Dubai by telemedicine, because most of our patients are abroad, and especially bariatric surgery, because my main practice is bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery need lifelong follow-up, and already we had experience, and now we are going to start as a GLR clinic. Also medical tourism, we facilitate our patients. Media, yes, on Facebook, we have YouTube channel, website, telemedicine, and also TV, and these are some. And this is a great news for our members, for our viewers. Just now we are going to start GLR digital book that will be like app in your hand, in your mobile. Then you will have access. So what will be in this? Tips and tricks, only tips and tricks. If someone want to see tips and tricks of mini gastric bypass by Robert Rutledge, yes, there will be some text, some pics, and short video. If someone like to see tips and tricks of lab only by Abul Fazl Ali Khan, yes, this will be available. Someone want to see tips and tricks of TEM by Professor Amjad Parvez, yes, that will be. So all minimal invasive. We are also started this program with a Malaysian company, and soon this app will be available for all of you. And also we have membership programs. This is membership criteria: specialist or trainee of specialty.
Sabak.
My humble request, please unmute your. This is my Shabbir. Please unmute yourself. Dr. Shabbir, please unmute yourself. So this was introduction, short introduction, and anytime highly welcome to Dubai, and it's my pleasure. Dr. Tansir, over to you. Can I continue my next presentation? Dr. Tansir, can you hear me? Dr. Tansir, can I go ahead for so anatomy?
Yes, please. Yes,
Okay.
yes, please go ahead for correctly, sir.
Okay. And that was a short introduction. And now we will go for anatomy. So just inform me can you see my next presentation or not yet? Dr. Tansir? Dr. Tansir, can you see my next presentation?
Yes, Professor Shahid here. We can see you. Dr.
Professor-
Tansir is in the theater. So you please continue. Please continue.
Professor Saab, so much thanks and highly welcome. It's really great honor that you are live with us, because such a person like you, it is honor for GLR and GLR team. So now I will demonstrate anatomy of inguinal ear. Can you see this slide? Professor Shahid, can you see this slide? Anatomy of inguinal region.
Yes, we can see this.
We can see you. We can't see slide.
You cannot see this anatomy of inguinal region?
Yes, we can see. Just we can see you.
You can see me only. Okay. Yeah, this due to this I am asking. So just a minute, I will go for this. I must.
मैं खड़ा हो जाता हूँ आपके साथ इधर। ठीक है, अभी जा रही है आवाज?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Just a minute. Yes. So now you can see my slides, I think.
Yes, we can see your first slide. Okay.
Yeah, first slide, yeah. So again, my viewers, so this, I will also try my best to demonstrate anatomy. You all know better than me, but there are some important points in TAP. When you are going to do TAP surgery or laparoscopic repair of inguinal hernia, you must know some points. Overall, all of you much better than me, and also know about anatomy of inguinal region. Just I have highlighted these points for a slide because these points are hernia point, but we are going to highlight only this region. Also, you can see same slide and with other. Yes, so I must highlight this point, especially by laparoscopic. Yes, these are the layers that all of you know better than me, and inguinal canal. So this is also repeated slides. Also, we can see in males and female. In male, spermatic cord, ilioinguinal nerve, and round ligament is like a spermatic cord. Because my youngsters, when you are going to do surgery for laparoscopically, especially in female, yes, there is less, very less. But yes, sometime you will face. At that time, our landmark is round ligament. And also these boundaries, I will just go ahead because I want to highlight that that points that is very important for us, because these slides you know better than me. So inguinal triangle, Hasselbalch, medially, laterally, inferiorly. I don't. Yes, now this slide is very important, please, because these points are very important. When you will see from inside, there is different anatomy, not like open surgery. So these points I must highlight. We have three ligaments. Median, medial, and lateral. If you remember always this, then there will be no issue for you for dissection, because if you will not know about anatomy, then there will be disaster laparoscopically. Please be careful. My humble request. In median, that is median. So just now you can see this is median, this is medial and lateral. Again, median, this will be medial, and we have this side lateral, because now I am highlighting in this slide one side are inguinal hernia. So in median, what is median ligament? That is so obstructed or a constrict. Yes, here. But in medial ligament, that is medial ligament, we have also obliterated or obstructed umbilical arteries. There is no issue. The main issue is lateral one. That is the most important. In my opinion, the most important. This ligament, why there are inferior epigastric vessels and more chance of bleeding. So if you will injury this one, this ligament, because always when we are going to dissect, never cross this one. So this is, so three ligaments, median, medial, and lateral. The most important, lateral. So then we will see where is direct and where is indirect inguinal hernia. I will explain. Just now you can see here. So I have mentioned here, this is lateral ligament. So inferior epigastric vessels here. So medial to lateral ligament is direct inguinal hernia. Lateral to lateral ligament is indirect inguinal hernia. You must know about this. So when this is medial, this is lateral ligament. So lateral to lateral ligament, this will be indirect inguinal hernia, but medial to this lateral ligament will be direct, and then they highlighted femoral and upper, that is very rare. But again, you must know about this. So again, here, this slide, you can see we have here, this is lateral ligament here. So this is median, and here, medial to lateral ligament will be direct. Again, another slide, because these points are the most important in my opinion. If you know, then there will be less chance to any complication. So because bladder is here, so you have especially epigastric vessel is there, and you can also, if you know your boundaries, your limitation, then there will be no issue. So again, you can see here, again we have highlighted here. Yes, in this you can see inferior epigastric vessel, this is lateral ligament. So lateral to lateral ligament will be indirect inguinal hernia, that's the deep inguinal ring. But medial to lateral ligament will be direct inguinal. Same also I have highlighted, because many times I have highlighted this, because this is very important. You must highlight. Today Dr. Tansir will highlight for you. So what is median, medial and lateral ligament. Also I highlight here because symphysis pubis, you must know about this, because this point is very important. If you will not dissect this, if you will not confirm this, then you cannot do hernia. Because first, when I will show a short video, so how we must go ahead. Yes, these two triangles, very important. Please, my youngsters, so doom, this is vessels, and also pain. Never taker here, because when you're going to fix, first of all, no need to fix a lot this mesh. Just 1 or 2 taker is sufficient. If your dissection is sufficient and your mesh is going to cover that hernia point about 5 centimeters from every side, then sufficient. Just 1 taker upside. So never taker this downside, because here we have doom, also dissection. Please be careful. Same doom and pain that I have highlighted, and also because because different slides I have tried my best. So in doom you can see we have some vessels, and be careful when you're going to dissect in this area. Also in this slide you can see, so this is lateral ligament. Again you can see direct, indirect hernia, femoral hernia, doom and pain. So just because this schematic will help you to imagine where is doom, where is pain, and also direct and indirect. Same another schematic, same another, and you can highlight, because these points I repeated these slides due to this. So because this is the most important point, that is, you must know about this. Also you can see here, this is the female case, and now you can see as I have mentioned, so that median, medial and the lateral ligament. Also here same landmarks, and we will go ahead for a short video. I will try my best to convey my message, especially for my youngsters. So how we do this, because this video is only for you. This is not edited video, just I take from outside with the help of my assistant, and also from outside, because I want to highlight points. So you will see, hopefully it will be helpful for you. Just a minute, I will go again here, and I will share my video. Professor Shahid, can you just a minute? I will show you my video. Dr. Tansir, can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Tansir is here.
Okay, okay. Sir,
Yes, we can hear.
I will show you this video. I don't know. Can you see this video or not? Can you see my video? Can you see my video? Not yet.
Yes, we can see it.
So you can see my video?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, 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 Dr. Tansir. So now you can see my video. Huh? I will open. So this is, you can see. Dr. Tansir, can you see my video? Professor Shahid, can you see my video?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can see. We can
Yeah,
see,
yeah. Just now here, I want to explain what I am doing. So because these points are very important. So inguinal hernia, first of all, patient position. This is tip centric. Patient must be head down. So tilt to your side. If you're going to do, first of all, both hands of patients must be with the patient. Prefer. If one-sided, yes. If left side. So because you must stand opposite to that hernia side. If in right inguinal hernia, you and your camera holder will be left side of the patient. So left hand must be with the patient. So then it's much easier for you. And also your anesthesia, that side, you must have access from the head of the patient. You must have that access. These points are very important. Then patient must be head down and tilt to your side. Then this bowel and this small bowel content will be down and you have good access to hernia. And when one-sided, please, for my youngster especially, my first interest is from umbilicus. So you can see I always use 10 here because I use 10, 30 depends on you, but this is my preference. I am easy with this position. And that side, where if there is right side, so I use also 3 trocar, 1 is 10 and 2 5, and 1 5 from about 10 cent, both are 10 about 10 centimeter from first. And if right side, then you can see that trocar is little above than first. And second one is lower, so that the left side lower, because one side, if you are going to do bilateral inguinal hernia, yes, then both sides will be parallel. So if you are going to do left side, then what will happen? So this will come here, little above, and right will come down. Then it will be much easier for you to dissection. Now you will see, just I am going to explain this. So because this video only for this training purposes, so I have highlighted this, and so just now you can see here, these are all ligaments. You can see median, medial and lateral ligament. This is lateral ligament. So our hernia in this situation is lateral to lateral ligament. Yeah, please silent. Please. My humble request, mute yourself.
स्टोमा जो है ना, ठीक है, और फीमेल साइड पे एक दफा चक्कर लगा लें कि अगर ऊपर कोई
My humble request, mute yourself.
इसका कोई पेशेंट पड़ा हुआ है, कोई स्वेलिंग किसी का जो है ना, वो भी आप देख लें. ये 4 केस में आज ही आप लोगों को जो है ये करा दूं.
Dr. Imran, please mute from your side because the person is not on.
आधा घंटा है.
Yeah, I am trying to mute all of them. I am muted. So now you can see, so this was lateral ligament, lateral. Dr. Tansir, video is clear? Yes.
Yes, sir. Clear.
It's good. It's good because this is only for, because I want to show outside. Now you can see, again, I will show you what I did here. So I will start from anterior iliac spine. I will show, so this is hernial sac. Outside you can see where I am. So I will show here. Yes, this point. So I will press this point and I can see from inside, this is anterior iliac spine. And also I will show you from here and then I touch. So for my landmark, because if you will go here, you will dissect here, then you will not have sufficient space. So your dissection must be here. So when your dissection will be more, yes, then you will have more space and this mesh will be easy to adjust at your hernial point. Just now you can see, this meticulous dissection, your pneumoperitoneum will help you. And when you will reach here, please, this is lateral ligament, never cross this. We have here inferior epigastric vessels. So, but I will come here, little here. You will see, I will cut also this area. I will never cross this. Just here. Then, so my space will be, you will see. So now at this stage, I am using a scissor with Maryland. Then I will change. Why? Because I will change Maryland with single action. So now Maryland, also that cautery is attached to Maryland. Cartry with the Maryland, that monopolar. If I need any hemostasis, yes, I can do. And also with the help of this single action. Now at this stage, what is my target? First, I must go to Cooper ligament. I must detect, that is the medial of that side. So I must detect. So if there is bilateral inguinal, here is bladder. So again, my humble request, my youngster, so when you're going to start, please, so you all know this urination before this, but if you're going to do bilateral inguinal hernia, Foley is very important, Foley catheter. So because sometime you will go behind that space and there is chance of injury. So I must first, before going to reducing that hernial sac, I must mention my Cooper ligament. These are tips and tricks. If you will follow this, then there will be less issue. Yes, you can do, but this is standard. If you are going to do a standard tap, you must follow these points. First, you must confirm your Cooper ligament, and with this meticulous dissection, you can see, yes, we highlighted. We also, as I highlighted, and I confirmed that, yes, now I will go for my dissection. So just now you can see my left hand, how I am holding my tissue, because left hand roll is very important in laparoscopy. And so just now you can see, because with this dissection, I am trying our best to separate that and to also this adhesions, as well as, so I will confirm my, just a minute, I think. Yes, you can see here. Yes, this is our cord, and I must separate my cord with this. With the, just no need to grasp. Just with meticulous dissection, you can separate easily. Just now you can see there is no issue, but be careful, because if you will grasp this, then there is chance of injury to cord vessels. Just with meticulous dissection, you can separate this. You can separate this. Yes, and you will separate completely. You can also mention, and there, here is our hernial sac. Now you can see I completely separate that my vessels from hernia sac. This is hernia sac, and confirm, I will confirm, then I will cut. Sometime we can reduce completely, and it is not necessary to reduce completely your sac. Yes, when it will become, yes, you can cut. Now there is no vessel in this sac, and because there is a lot of adhesion, yes, because this Maryland also I have attached monopolar, I can cut, and this sac will be completely separate. You can see, and now my vessels are there, the cord is there, there is no chance to injury of the cord, and now completely I have reduced my sac, hernial sac. Now I will go for complete dissection for my mesh. So now there is no issue. I have confirmed my Cooper ligament. These are my vessels and cord that I have mentioned here. Here is my hernial defect. This is hernial defect. I must cover all of this hernial defect. That is the important, and no need to grasp. Just now you can see with this dissection you can do. No need to grasp the vessels. Be careful. Here is doom that I have mentioned. Here is pain triangle. Here is doom triangle. When you are here dissection, please be at this area. This, then you can face a disaster. So just now you can see this meticulous dissection, and I will make the space for my this mesh. Yes, now I am going to dissect more and more. Sometime at left side, these are some adhesions, there is no issue. Hello. Woman. So this, you can see here, you can see this dissection. There is no issue. We can see here. These are some adhesions, because we must have sufficient space. When mesh will be inside, there will be no folding. If there is folding here, so then that was not sufficient dissection. Just now you can see upside. How can I am making space for my mesh? Because you must have sufficient space, and routinely we use 10 by 15 or 12 by 15, that my preference, it depends on the patient. So also sometimes we don't have sufficient space here and there is a folding of mesh. So that is not standard. So you must do complete dissection, sufficient dissection, make space. This is the hernia defect and we must cover all of this with mesh. And then you can fix your mesh with taker here, upside here. Also, I try to fix with Cooper ligament and above never I taker here because here we have pain triangle and Doom triangle. You can see this is Cooper ligament and when I will put the mesh, I will fix here with taker 1 or 2 taker. I never use so many of this. So then now this is the mesh. So you can see how I am. So I will show you here. I will put the mesh and you must know about this. Yes, this is the mesh. It depends on you. Some person, I am easy to put like this. So it is, I think, 10 by 15 or 12 by 15, this mesh. Routinely, I use Prolane, but today, Dr. Tansir will use a 3D. That is also amazing. And now you can see how you can fix your mesh. And also, as I have mentioned here, so that space must be sufficient. When space is sufficient, then there will be no folding. Yes, when there is no folding, it means, yes, that was sufficient space. And now your mesh covered that area of hernia defect. For fixing, so only 1 or 2 taker always I use here, but no need to use more and more. Only 1 or 2, that is sufficient. No need to press more, just this is taker. I will so fix at Cooper ligament, I mention here, and then just 1 or 2, not but that is sufficient because it will hold your mesh and that is sufficient. And then I always repair with this suture. So again, I have changed my hand with other trocar. Yes, you can see, still I have not taken that one. I think this, because I use routinely 1 or 2, not much more. So that 1 and 2 and 3, only this. I never use taker here, please never use here, because this is doom, this is pain. So no need to use taker here, only 2 or 3 that above that upper portion, that is sufficient. And now I will show how I suture this area, because suturing of this area is little difficult. Overall, intracorporeal is difficult, but this area is little because we have less space. Always I talk with my fellows, if you can do, you can see this my hand that I want to show. So if you see here, I want to see here how I rotate my wrist. Just you can see in my fingers. So this needle holder is in my finger. No need to twist your wrist, just in your fingers. So that is the key point for your suturing. You can see in my fingers, I never rotate my wrist. So hold the tissue. When you are going to suture, please hold the tissue. When you will hold, then you can do suturing easily. Because routinely I use here V-lock, and V-lock also has a loop. So I will, so just now you can see here, this is a V-lock. And then I will go ahead for my suturing. So this, just hold the tissue, and also with your fingers, you can do suture everywhere. You can rotate your needle holder with your fingers. No need to twist your wrist, just hold with your fingers. So these are some key points. Then you can easily do, just yes, again, I have showed you. So these fingers, so no need to twist your wrist. So we will go ahead for suturing, and now you can see it is going to finish. It is going to finish. Yes, going to finish. And please always completely close, because I have faced here hernia after this, because unfortunately there was a small defect exact this place. I have missed that, and patient after 8 days, 10 days with intestinal obstruction. So please be careful. Close completely these defects, and you must be humble. So in laparoscopy, one of my mentor, professor, Professor, just a minute. Please, I am Dr. Hafiz. Dr. Hafiz, please I think I must mute Dr. Hafiz. Galaxy is also mute. Yes, one of my mentor always asked me, so in laparoscopy, slow is always speedy. So much thanks all of you for your attention. Dr. Tansir, over to you.
Yes, Dr. Tansir is again in the theater, so we can see you clearly and we can listen to you, no problem.
Sir, because I'm going to finish. If you have any question, please.
Any question? Any question from the audience side, please? Any questions? Any questions from the audience side? No, thank you very much. All are happy and satisfied.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Please, sir.
One of our doctor is asking any alternative to Tacker, please. Any alternative to Tacker?
Yeah, glue. You can also use glue, and I am using routinely glue. You can stitch that area. It depends on your expertise. If there is you don't have glue, or if you don't have Tacker, you can stitch. And many times I have stitched that area and excellent result. It depends on your expertise. And in my opinion, if you don't have Tacker or glue, you can stitch. And you can fix your, and always use absorbable. So you can use PDS, you can use Vicryl, depends on you. So which suture you use, so you can use this and you can fix your mesh, yes.
Any other question? Yes, sorry, one more question.
Please, sir.
Okay, so another question is, which you prefer, tap or tap?
I prefer tap.
Tap.
Dr. Imran?
Dr. Tansir, I have finished my presentation.
Yeah,
now you will be host. You will be host or Dr. Nadir, who is free.
I think both will not be free. But
No,
I will give my mobile to someone, and the laptop. Let me see, this laptop ka naam kya? Can you make two hosts, or there can be one host only? One host only, right?
Dr. Fakhr Hamid, Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How are you, sir? Fine.
Fine, alhamdulillah.
बड़ा अच्छा लगा भाई आपको, आपकी अलबत्ता चेहरा मुबारक तो नहीं देख पाए, लेकिन आपका हाथ देख लिया.
चलें, मेरी आवाज आपको आ रही है?
जी जी बिल्कुल आ रही है.
Dr. Imran, one question for the most of the juniors is that sometimes it has come in experience that is it like this, even sometimes the hematoma or something behind the mesh or the mesh itself may be irritable to cause the neurological type of the pain in the distribution of these nerves. One question. And second question is that God forbid, if your mesh get infected, what do you suggest? Should it be removed again by doing a relap, or you can do through the open surgery and remove the mesh?
Sir, excellent question by excellent surgeon and professor. Definitely, we expect such a question from your side. So regarding this hematoma or seroma, that's the most common complication after inguinal hernia repair. What I do, prevention is better than treatment. Always use testicular elevation. So tight underwear will help the patient. Always, I suggest my patients to wear tight underwear, always, at least for 3 weeks. If it happens, don't worry. Again, that is no need to aspirate, no need to do something. Please be careful, because if you will go for aspiration, there is more chance of infection. Just again, conservative therapy, you can, so patient take rest and also can use, yes, if there is a huge hematoma or yes, then maybe, but that is very, very rare, because maybe sometime, so there is injury of these vessels and that is very rare. So but only that I am talking about the most common seroma that we routinely see. Prevention with tight underwear, and if there is seroma, no need to touch this, just so you can talk with the patient. So patient always think this is hernia. No, this is not hernia. Yes, you can repeat ultrasound and confirm this is seroma or hematoma. That will go with the passage of time. It will take time, sometime 3 months. Yes, I have faced such a situation. But again, there is no issue. You can use analgesics. You can use that tight underwear, and hopefully with the passage of time it will go. And another that is very important, that is mesh, infected mesh. Always remove, but never by laparoscope. Never by laparoscope, because if you will remove by laparoscope, so just imagine you will infection inside peritoneum. So then your access must be open, and that wound must remain open. So these are key points. If infected, no issue, no problem, go ahead. You must face your complication. You must be ready for such a situation. But the most important, never complicate complication. So if you are going to remove, your infected mesh must be open, and also that wound must remain, and there is no issue. Most of them, I have faced some cases, you can't believe, maybe due to fibrosis, I have no idea, but then there was no hernia. Till I have removed the mesh, progressively that wound closed, but after some time there was no hernia, maybe due to fibrosis of that area. Professor Fakhr, are you agree with me?
Yes, I'm agree. And which incision you would suggest for the open to remove this? Would you like to go through the classical inguinal incision for open hernia, or would you suggest a vertical incision, or which incision you would suggest?
So routinely it depends on
because it's a big mesh, or sometimes you have to the mesh partly fibrosed, and sometimes it is difficult, especially when tacker is there at the Cooper's ligament. So you have to pull it and you have to bring it out. Maybe sometime it will be difficult task.
Absolutely agree, sir. But that is the routine incision. But routinely now open also, there is not a big incision. You know better than me. This is not like 20 years or 15 years ago that was a big incision, because at that time we always think big surgeon, big incision. But now we are going to minimal invasive, and also in open surgery we never use a big incision. It depends on your patient. So because you will see most of cases I see there is a fistula, something like this, and pus coming from that area. When the mesh is infected, you can extend your incision at that place, and also you can see so how much it is easy for you with. So it depends on you. So that incision size is not important. Important the point, where is the mesh, how you are easy, about the patient. So different factors, but the main thing, safety of the patient. That is the most important. When you are going to remove, that incision must be like, your patient must be safe, and also you must easily remove all of the mesh. And routinely, if taker, yes, I agree with you. But when there is infection and pus, easily to remove the mesh. But yes, when there is a taker, sometime our surgeon use more taker, then there is no need to use more takers, 1 or 2, that for just fixing the mesh, that is sufficient. So yes,
Excellent.
and it depends on, sir, you how much.
Excellent. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Professor Zahid, if you have any question. Dr. Tansir, can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Dr. Tansir, can you hear me?
Dr. Tansir is an OT, sir.
OT तो यार मैं किसको होस्ट बनाऊं, कौन होस्ट बनेगा?
सर अभी आप इसी डॉक्टर तंसीर को होस्ट बनाएं, क्योंकि अभी आपको यहाँ से लाइव वीडियो दिखाई जाएगी।
अच्छा, वो दिखाएंगे, तो इसीलिए मैं डॉक्टर तंसीर अभी दिखा पाएंगे, क्योंकि मैं चाह रहा हूं कि वो एक्सेस उनकी हो, और वो 1 मिनट, हाँ वो शेयर कर सकते हैं, मसला नहीं।
सर जैसे स्टार्ट होती है तो हम आपको शेयर करेंगे स्क्रीन।